Good afternoon and welcome to our week 23 webinar. This is Sue Lawton and
I'm Deb Weyland. Hi, everyone.
yes, and we're talking to you from the same place in sunny New Jersey. Deb is cloistered in her office and I'm hiding in the dining room so we don't make the feedback noise.
Yes, it's kind of fun when we do this. It really is.
Yes, and intelligent, sensitive people around the world have a great deal of difficulty asking for help. Number one reason is they figure with their brains they should be able to figure it out themselves. And the
That's
number
right.
two reason is they don't know that it's actually a virtuous act to ask and accept for help at whatever level people are capable of giving. So let's
hmm
talk about that. We're going to start with our music selection for this week because a lot of people said, wow, I remember that from music appreciation class.
hmm
And if you're familiar with the piece, you know it's a very strong piece driven with light music. And that's
It is.
reflecting what we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the most influential people in the last century, Steve Jobs, he said most people never ask. That's what separates the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. And that's really true. We're so afraid of people seeing us as weak or, not intelligent enough to accomplish something. We don't want to ask for that help when we need it.
Right. Or people are afraid when they're in a creative project to ask for help because inside of them they don't really want input, but they may want help and they don't even know how to express it.
Mm-hmm.
So if people say, I really want to do this project, it's really important that you wait until somebody asks.
Mm-hmm.
This week is all about making up the blend, Arborvitae, Eucalyptus, Lang Lang, and really working at I am good with asking for help on new things.
Right.
Because new
Yeah.
things are the easiest. Since you haven't done it and you're asking somebody else, they may not have done it. You can learn together. You can share together. You can say, how does this look? What do you think? Well, how can we make this better?
Right. And it's not a control thing because that also comes into play. So many of us want control over our creativity, control of our projects, but we still need guidance in how to accomplish them. So we need to ask for help. We have to be open to hearing from others and learning from them.
Right. And Arborvitae will break down old problems and habits. Eucalyptus opens the way. And Lang Lang will help you stay humble so that you're capable of learning, even if somebody says, oh, I don't like that shade of blue, and it's your favorite shade of blue.
Mm-hmm.
And you practice your affirmations, it's very important. The people who are successful with the calendar in executing the changes in their lives, they say
Mm-hmm.
they just follow the directions. They just say the affirmations every day, and they're very happy with the results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people have been writing to us and telling us that they are making their own on the weekend. And sometimes they're just reusing one from the week because they found it was so successful. So, I mean, that's also an option, but it's great to say them and reinforce that positivity of that affirmation as you're going throughout the week.
Now, if you care and your perception is that somebody could benefit from your assistance, please remember if you want to be of service, please keep in mind who it is for.
Mm-hmm.
Ask what will be helpful, Wait until you're asked for something specific. And judge not, especially if you have not experienced what you are witnessing. Sometimes, in our effort to be helpful, we undo help because we want to provide solutions when no one has asked. And we really don't know what's going on. Sometimes you just have to sit and wait quietly. Sometimes you just have to show up and be a positive energy right there. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, Deb and I have worked together for years. And at the beginning, when I was helping her in her classroom, I was very quiet and waited until she made decisions and gave her support when she changed her mind because it was her classroom, not mine.
Right. And it worked out really well. And I'm very comfortable using the words, I want to be helpful. Let me know how I can best help you. And it's fine to admit that, because again, sometimes we come to something with our own preconceived notions of how things should be done. And sometimes, like Sue said, we have to take the step back and just wait for people to direct us. And that's okay too.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes it's okay to say, I don't know how to help. I just have a feeling you could use some help or support or whatever. And sometimes people have to find the right words.
Absolutely.
Tell you why we picked this particular blend. And when you look at it from an emotional standpoint, you're going to get it. Lang Lang soothes and inhibits anger born of frustration. Psychologically, Lang Lang calms, uplifts, creates a sense of peace, and aids self-expression of repressed inner feelings. It minimizes aggressive behavior, anger, rage, fear, while fostering feelings of confidence, love, security, and serenity. It stimulates enthusiasm and can provide comfort during times of change. So you can see why Lang Lang is part of this week, right?
Oh, sure. You know, asking for help brings up a lot of emotional feelings within yourself and for others. And I find it a very calming oil. I love to diffuse it sometimes at the end of a really rough day just to take that away. So I think it can be very comforting and very helpful.
Yes, and Arborvitae, and this is the Thuja, it's known as Thuja, is effective with female PMS, headaches, fever, coughs, cold. Whenever you see coughs and cold, you need to know that emotionally it relieves congestion, blockages, and it helps with breathing, heart issues. So if your heart is hurting and you want to ask for help, this can be really very helpful. Clears the throat so that you can speak. It's a counter irritant, so you can expectorate. It's a great diuretic. And remember, how does diuretic be most effective?
When we drink lots of water, which seems silly, but you need to flush it out of your system.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is if you're actually taking in pure water. We don't mean sodas and teas and things like that, just real plain water.
Right. And it works in a drop per drop match. So if you apply Arborvitae and fractionated coconut oil to your legs that are retaining water, you've got to drink a lot of water to support the activity of moving water out. It will leave on a drop per drop match. So it's very helpful. You can put it over your low back on your kidneys, so that will help them clear out also, but drink lots of water. It's a great insect repellent. When going deep woods hiking with John, I take our TerraShield sprayer and I add Arborvitae to it just to make it stronger, because we have some pretty fierce bugs here in New Jersey. It's kind of like the people. Did that come out of my mouth?
I have to tell you, I actually saw a Jersey mosquito already.
Oh no.
It was bigger than $50 in diameter. The thing was huge.
Right. Well,
huge. I was like, oh my gosh, we're starting already.
Yeah, what bothers me is the telescopic lenses they have for eyes, and you can hear them saying,
Hmm.
"Ah, feed the family on this one. Here I come."
Absolutely.
And
No,
our
that's a great idea. I'm going to do that to my own bottle. That's wonderful.
Yep, and it's a great tonic for stomach and intestines. So emotionally, it helps you process what you've been resisting processing. Sometimes we view
Hmm.
other people's situations and we have a hard time not enforcing our suggestions. And we kind of play with it in our head, saying, gee, that was a bad decision. If they could only do this, if they could only do that. Arborvitae
Hmm.
helps that back away because you don't need to process other people's lessons. Let them learn.
Right. And when we're saying like coughs and things, you're meaning that a lot of these side effects, so to speak, or conditions are the result of a lot of emotional stuff that we have inside. So it helps get rid of all that caused from those deep emotions, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Uh-oh,
great.
one of our people listening, her husband's from Jersey. She totally relates. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about eucalyptus. A lot of people
Yay,
don't talk about
eucalyptus.
eucalyptus, and it's one of our basic oils. It's great.
Hmm. Yep.
Yes, Deb.
Yeah, it helps us, especially if we're feeling, I love that word, hemmed in. Sometimes we're just feeling overwhelmed. We feel like everything is closing in on us, and we just really don't know how to get away with that. Like, we don't know how to relieve that feeling. And it can be happening at your house, it could be happening in your workplace, or just in society in general. So, eucalyptus is wonderful for helping us feel free. Think of the tree and what it looks like. It's big, it's powerful, it's allowing us to have greater freedom and a wider experience of life. So we want to remove that feeling. I have friends that they almost start to feel like they can't breathe even within their own house. And you get that feeling. Sometimes you're overwhelmed with that. You can't take a deep breath. You might physically start to hyperventilate. So eucalyptus can help us with all of those things. It's amazing.
Right, and it's very good about supporting transformation from a sense of suffocation into one of expansive renewal. And our
Mm-hmm.
friend Valney, who wrote about oils for years and years, he's the one who had the bucket of lavender in his room when somebody got terribly burned and just ran and put the man's hand right in the bucket, and the change on the burned surface was amazing. He suggests its use in
Mm-hmm.
feverish conditions to lower the temperature and as a measure to prevent the spread of infection in cholera, measles, malaria, chickenpox, scarlet fever, and typhoid. And who's a cousin of chickenpox?
Oh, the
It gets a lot of
uh,
commercials. Shingles.
shingles. Thank you. That was not coming to me. Yeah, shingles.
Right. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're mixing up your little thing to help out with shingles, remember eucalyptus, couple drops of eucalyptus in that minor sprayer with the Roman chamomile and the melissa really will help. And veterinarians have administered eucalyptus oil to horses for influenza, dogs for distemper, and a variety of animals with parasitic skin infection.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Koala bears thrive off the eucalyptus tree. You guys know that.
And you saw that personally.
Yes, I did. They are two little bubbas.
Wait, are you saying that we should be like a koala bear and start eating eucalyptus?
No, no, no. Putting it on the skin is just fine. You don't need to ingest.
Okay. This is so true. Asking for help does not make you a failure. And, this is so important for us to remember and to say this, turn it into an affirmation. I'm not a failure if I ask for help. Just say it, just believe it because it's the truth.
Right. I am moving forward with my new education and enthusiasm because as you learn new lessons, you have to confirm that you're capable of learning. And now that you have new information, you may make new decisions. And that's all good stuff.
Absolutely. asking for help is not a weakness. Again, it's a way of being kind to yourself. You know, sometimes we put so many extra burdens on ourselves, feeling like we can do it all. And you know what? It's okay to ask for help when you need it. It's truly, truly okay.
Yes. Asking for help is a sign of strength because you have courage to take your vision or your idea and communicate to somebody else. I would really like this to happen. I would really, I can visualize part of it. What do you see? Do you think this will work? I mean, Debbie and I have done lots of different classes together, and that's ticket. Together, we figure things out and we say, okay, how will people see this? Can you see people walking through this? Do you think we can carry it over their head? I mean, we work things out together. It's a group effort.
You know, and like sometimes you're starting projects and you know the beginning and you know where you want to end up. And sometimes you just need help along the way in the middle path, and it's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Accepting is an act of generosity. See, when you ask for help and people have a different experience base, you're going to learn new things about communication. You're going to learn new virtues you didn't know you had, and you're going to tap into virtues that person had that maybe you didn't realize were even there. It's an opportunity for everyone to learn. And by your accepting the best someone can do, and you just express gratitude, you are being very generous.
You are. That is really true.
And Debbie found this. I think this is great.
Yeah, a teacher in me. First of all, it reminded me of that, the Staples button,
Yes.
But sometimes we don't know how to ask for help. And this slide is the perfect example. Could you please help me out with, and list what you want?
Right.
Would you mind showing me? And these are just simple ways to broach broach the topic of getting help from someone.
Right.
What ones do you think would work for you, Sue?
Well, I like that. Would you please explain to me how you got this end result? Like some of the things that are on Instagram, I love watching. Not Instagram. What is the other one?
The Facebook page?
No, the ones that you like with the teachers. And they have projects. I love
the Pinterest.
Pinterest. They show you right on there how to do something. I love that.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll just call Debbie and say, can you help me with blah, blah, blah?
Yep. And a lot of times, my friends are busy too. So I always say, is it possible for you to help me out on Saturday at 2? Yeah. I give them the option of being able to say, I'm not free that day. How about another time? So those are really nice ways to ask for help for friends and family or, other people at the workplace.
Right. And if they decline, do not use the word why. WHY makes people defensive. Okay? Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. Think about that.
Yeah. It's really true.
And tell us about Ollie. How did Ollie think about this week?
Ollie. Yep. Kids have to learn to ask help from others too. I stop and I think about how I grew up, and kids today, they're just growing up in different circumstances. They're a lot of times they're on their own, and many kids of bilingual households, they don't have anyone in the house to ask for help. So they need to learn to ask from a friend at school or a teacher, and it's okay. And we want them to feel comfortable doing that. And Ollie Oil was teaching them about Arborvitae, and that if we dilute it and put it on the bottoms of the feet, it's a great way to have good dreams.
Yes,
and of course it takes care of your sniffly noses too.
Yes, Arborvitae is very good at night. Sometimes asking for help is the bravest move you can make. You don't have to go it alone. And when you are successful in your group thinking or your couple thinking, you really do feel good about being part of a team. By the way,
and I'm sorry, I was just going to say it's really important when you ask for help and you get it, be sure to show gratitude for it. That goes hand in hand with asking for help. Be grateful for anything that they were able to help you with.
Yes. And Deb, tell them our email address so they can write and say, can you please send me a complete list of all the webinars? Can you tell me where I can get more calendars for my friends?
Our email address is happycal, HAPPYCAL 359 @gmail.com. And I've been getting emails every day. I look at them. I'll send you out the most up-to-date listing of all our webinars. People have been writing for vision boards. We have that too. And then I'll also ask if you want to be part of our, notice of all our webinars, and we'll add you to that mailing list as well. All our webinars can be found on Facebook under Happy Cal, and we just love to hear from you.
Yes, it's happycal359.
Asking for
Gmail.
help does not mean you are weak or incompetent. It means
Okay.
Yep.
And
Happy Cal 359
does not mean you are weak or incompetent. It means quite the opposite. You have to be strong, confident, and intelligent enough to realize when you need help and courageous enough to ask for it. Use your oils, plan ahead, and things will go more smoothly. And we'd like to thank you all for being with us today. And thank you, Miss Deb, for coming out to play. Oh, we can't hear you. It's being funny.
Amen to that.
Sorry, your voice is not coming through. I know you're talking because I can hear you in the other room.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and Deb,
I know.
saying thank you, and have a great weekend. And we'll have another fun class next week. Thank you, guys.
Bye.